time. So it's important that you practice them, so if they ever happen to you in a match, they won't cost you the game.
Thank you, Tony. Of course, sometimes in a game or in a break, there may not be an obvious pot on. It looks like your opponent has left you safe, or you've just got out of position during a break. That's where I think some of the American pool players could teach us a lesson in looking for possible plants, doubles, combination shots. And of course, Cliff Thorburn from Canada has a lot of experience not only at snooker, but also at playing pool. And who better to introduce this section?
So now that we've been through all the basic techniques of the game of snooker, and hopefully you've had a bit of practice doing it, we're going to go straight to match-type situations, and we're going to start off with the break shot, which is very important indeed. Ideally, what I would like to do is to strike the cue ball on the right-hand side, striking the second row of reds on the right-hand side, so that the cue ball strikes the top cushion, side cushion, comes down between the pink and the blue, side cushion, down to here, so that if the cue ball is here, your opponent can't see anything here or here, and the only balls that he can see is through this gap between the brown and the blue. That's not bad. That one. Notice that the cue ball is tight on the cushion, and that always helps. Sometimes during a game you're faced with a shot like this. This is called a shot to nothing, which means that if you miss the pot, the cue ball is still going to come around down here and hopefully go safe. If you pot the red ball, then hopefully you'll still finish on a buck color here, and then you have to pot one of these and then go back down to the reds and hopefully build up a big break. So this is called a shot to nothing. Hopefully you'll pot it. But as you see, the cue ball is coming back down the table. Now, if you would have missed that shot, then obviously you wouldn't have left too much. But now you're back on the green ball with a chance to go back down to the reds and hopefully compile a big break. This is called a plant, or else in North America it's called a combination. And as you can see, the two balls are touching, and they're headed right towards the corner pocket with the cue ball right in behind it. Now, if the cue ball was just slightly to the right, you would still have to play this first red as if you're cutting it straight into the corner pocket, but just cut it a bit right. And if the cue ball was over here, then you still cut the red slightly to the left, but obviously the first ball is still going to go in. So I'm dead behind the cue ball here. I just have to aim dead on, and that should happen. Once again, another plant. This one's not quite as obvious. In fact, the red ball is about 3 or 4 inches apart, and what I have to do here is make it myself, so to speak. So what you must do first of all is get down as if this first red was the cue ball, and you just come around, try and find the angle like this. And once you find the angle, you just go straight through that ball. And you find an angle on the cushion here, and you try and play this first red into this small piece of chalk. And think that this is the pocket and not that. And don't forget to play a position on the shot as well. And that should happen. So now we come to one of the truly strange type of situations that can actually happen in any ball game at all. Now, it's still a plant. The two balls are still touching. Now, remember that this shot is only possible when the balls are touching, or I'd say about maybe 1/4 of an inch apart. Now, as you can